anthropomorphism, more commonly known as humanising animals. Humanising animals can be a bit difficult to define. It can refer to putting clothes on pets and speaking to them, or sometimes speaking for them. Having this sense of friendship and love is often something people want. And when you find this with a pet, you just want to take them everywhere. You take them on the walks that they love, you want to bring them shopping, often to their favourite stores. Humanisation is not a new concept. There have been countless movies, TV shows, all about animals walking on their hind legs, talking like humans, and just generally being one. But what has happened in more recent years is people have made a business out of it. And that's what I want to explore. And what better place to start than at a trade show? I'm here at PATS 2022, the UK's #1 trade show event for the pet industry. This is where businesses specialising in dog food, aromatherapy and pet grooming come to showcase their goods. There are a lot of businesses here today to gain customers, industry friends and to get to know the competition. One of the businesses that I met is a dog treat company, those treats for the end of the week that we all deserve.
So we're the Barking Bakery, we're manufacturers of paw-licking Doggylicious muffins. This is our 6th year here at Pat Sandown with our new up-branded stand, so we're very proud of it. Unfortunately, we're not the healthy dog treat people, we're the naughty cake people. So we're here to treat our dogs that have been sat in the kitchen all week, and we all go on a diet from Monday to Friday, and weekend comes, we all treat ourselves, and it's a treat for our pets as well.
I then had a chat with the makers of doggy deodorant and dry shampoo. A very human product, but when applied to dogs for the same reasons humans would buy them, to prolong hair wash day and generally just smell nice.
So Sniff and Lick It is great grooming gifts and treats for dogs. It's all about a fragrance which is natural and aromatherapy based. We use natural essential oils, so cedarwood, vetiver, petitgrain, olive oils. These are really good for the dog. A lot of fragrances that are in human products and in dog shampoos are synthetic, so they're made of chemicals. So what we did was we worked with a pet aromatherapist and did a lot of research on what oils were actually good for the dog, because obviously they have a very sensitive nose. We wanted to create a fragrance that was actually really good for the dog's sense of well-being, but a sense of obviously smell that was actually going to do them good too, and actually smells quite nice to humans as well.
And finally, the last stand I visited is something that really highlighted the humanisation of animals in the business world. Giving cards is a little bit of a dying gesture, unless of course you were close family or friends. But seeing as we're in a world where people view their dogs as babies, this product is perfect.
So we launched the company in December 2020, in the height of lockdown. We make edible greeting cards for dogs. So we make it from potatoes and the cards are naturally flavoured. So as you'll see, some of the cards have different flavours. So we've got the likes of bacon, beef, chicken, cheese, peanut butter, which is really yummy to all the dogs. And there's loads more ideas of other flavours we can do, but yes, that's a little taste of what we've been up to. The humanised element to our offerings, so we try and make our dog lovers as happy as the dogs are eating the card, so it's very much like a ceremony. So the dog lover buys the card, they can write on the card with our special pen. So they scribe a message to the dog, and then they can read the card to them, gift it to the dog, and then the dog scoff the card. So
now you're back from the trade show and your pets have all the gear. So how about a holiday away from your owners? Many pet owners are steering away from pet kennels as they can stress your dog or cat out. Many are beginning to lean towards leaving them with a friend or taking them to their very own hotel. Across the UK, there are many dog and cat hotels, but one that stands out is the Sussex Sausage Hotel, a hotel for sausage dogs. During their time here, they are kept fed, walked and socialised, even for those shyer among the rest. It's perfect for lounging around in the sun, having a play in the garden, or even catching up with the news. But mainly, owners are away from their pups without a worry in the world. The owner of the hotel, Sally Ann, was also a Dachshund breeder and has spoken to me today about the pressures of the breeding world.
The hotel came about because the parents of my puppies would ask me to look after them when they went on holiday. And it's a joy.
Yeah.
They're bringing their puppy back to play with their mum. You know, it's just a joy, a very joyous thing to do. So, and of course, the more I bred, the more puppies came to us. So we did that for about 10 years until finally I kind of looked at my life and thought, what things in this world bring me joy? And actually looking after the dogs brings me joy. The breeding world is very closed, and when you first start off, even trying to get a good stud dog, it's very closed if they don't feel that your bitch is good enough. And so there's a lot of sort of, which is right, you know, you want to make sure that you're breeding with the best of the best. So the initial stages just of even finding the best bitch and the best stud are difficult. So I was very lucky in that I came across a lady called Anne Bourne. She wasn't really interested in anything but breed lines, old bloodlines, and showing, whereas I hate showing. It's like, no way, if my dog doesn't come first, I'm just too upset. So we started to work together, and I was very lucky because she helped me and I learnt everything from her. So you really need to find yourself a mentor if you're ever thinking about going into breeding.
So, would you take your dog to their breed retreat? Or does it have you questioning whether or not you're doing it for them or yourself? Humanisation can also refer to giving your pet a human-like diet or having certain expectations of their behaviour. Many pet owners put pressure on their cats to react in certain ways, so when they seemingly misbehave, this can cause upset. Roger Tabor is a biologist and cat behaviour specialist. He has talked me through why cats sometimes react the way they do, and how cats view things through their eyes.
So in terms of like kissing and hugging your pets, do you think that cats actually understand what we're doing by doing this?
It's a good question to think in terms of whether pets really understand what we do towards them over a lot of things. Certainly when it comes to something as intimate as and frankly strange as kissing and hugging from the point of view of an animal of another species, it does evoke a sort of a big question. I mean, it would be bad enough if I suddenly stopped this interview and you don't know me and leapt across and intruded on you in that same way. It would be inappropriate. And you would certainly go, oh. Now, would a cat go, that's inappropriate? Oh. Well, chances are yes, if in the same way it didn't know me. And also we're working on the assumption that this is in a household where the owner is affectionate towards the cat most of the time and tickles it and strokes it and so on, then that becomes less intrusive. But it can be even much less than that. What's the normal correct politeness to meet a cat? Too many owners will just go up to the cat, pick it up, and then be surprised when the cat squirms away like mad and is really quite freaked out by the situation. Or when a couple of cats will meet, at a distance they will certainly flag up with their tails, but they will also, as they get closer, do a little rising trill if they know each other and they're friends, so to speak. So in the same sort of way, when you go into a room from the outside world, the cat might be snoozing, it may not know what's going on, so let it know you're approaching, and whether that's just hello or whether it's a rising trill, it fulfills the same function. Then, if you know you're going to pick the cat up, then use your hand and lightly run it along the top of the shoulders of the cat, and at least the cat knows you're there. And so then when you go to pick it up, run your fingers around the side of its chest to under the body, and then you'll be surprised that it will be relaxed because it understands every sequence that's going on, as opposed to suddenly just, in effect, grabbing it. and it's that sort of degrees of things. Even when it's part of what is a normal cat's vocabulary, it's got to be in the right sort of area.
Should we expect our cats to accept what we're enforcing on them? For example, taking them out for a walk, putting them on a lead, maybe taking them to the beach, putting them in the water. Should we make them accept that dogs might do?
A cat is not a dog, and a cat is not a small, furry person. And we do need to be alert to the differences and not try to change a cat into us. But anthropomorphism, when we do it in these ways, we do it in lots of ways without realising it. I mean, when I made my BBC Cat series, we actually launched it on the stage of the Cats Theatre. And it really hit me. This was living anthropomorphism. You know, you're interpreting another animal through our eyes as if they're a human being. I mean, those ladies dressed as cats, you couldn't be more misinterpreting reality. We're changing one species and putting it into another. But that's what we're trying to do when we have a cat and we treat it as if it's us or as if it's a dog. Cats are animals which are non-group, they're non-hierarchical. The thing about a dog group or a wolf group is that it is that thing of hierarchy. Initially, it will have been sorted out through fighting amongst the wolves to sort out where they are. But again, that's something that leads to misunderstandings with people. They assume that wolf packs are fighting all the time, and they're not. Most of the time, they're harmonious. But what you do have is, because they are living in a pack, you've got a series of codified signals which work between them all the time. Now, you try to think in those terms with a cat. It is just so non-starter because a cat doesn't have that range of vocabulary between members of a group all the time for the nuanced activities about where you are, because they don't have a group. Treat a cat like a dog, treat a cat like a human being. What we need to do is to understand our cats. And we need to appreciate that a different species is a different species. And if you want a close relationship with your cat, then you've got to understand how a cat thinks. You've got to understand how a cat is.
It's so easy to give your pet everything. That's why humanisation is an ever-growing market within the pet industry. While it's cute, we as pet parents have the responsibility to ensure the well-being of our furry friends.